Hello everybody. I had another thing happening. I usually start preparing my clay at the top of the hour because I start the lives at past. Because it doesn't really matter if I would prepare my clay before that, I would still have to condition it. So anyway, it was like a snowball of stuff happening. First it was an Amazon delivery, then a neighbor who was very chatty, and then another Amazon delivery. So I only started preparing a few minutes ago. Hi Elaine, glad you made it. Hi Sharon, hi Wendy. So what I decided to do now was to make these flowers a little bit smaller, because I do not trust my hands with them. So what I'm going to do is to get them at a 1 inch, and then we'll play with the what's after that. But I'm going to first get them to 1 inch. So, and by the way, I'm going to say again, I think it is in my tools. Let me see, in my influencer store. If you give me just a second, I will get in the tools and show you. I don't know how you deal with rulers. If you have one of those grid working tiles, you're fine, because you can go, you already have a ruler there. But if you don't, and you actually do need to use a ruler, the problem that I used to have was that rulers, most of the time, they are made out of plastic. And as we know, plastic gets eaten up by polymer clay. If not instantly, at least after a while of using it. Where the heck is my tool section? So I kept looking and trying and looking and trying until I found this set on Amazon, and it is in my tools section. Not jewelry tools, just regular tools. There we go. Okay, let me switch to display. So, but this would be, these are metal, so you don't have any problem with them. One of the kits, this is not the one that I have, okay, but it's one of the kits, because I couldn't, let me see if it's still, no, so I couldn't find it anymore. So I found something similar, but as you can see, it's not very different. It's in centimeters, but you get a cutting mat, which you don't really need, but you get 3 X-Acto knives and a metal ruler. So this will help you a lot. So yeah, no, there's no more. This is the one that I have, and you've seen it in a few of my tutorials. It's the grid one that I have. I stopped using it for tutorials because I found that the videos looked a little bit gloomy. But you can, if you don't, you can go to a Lowe's or a Home Depot and get one like the one that I have. That's a big marble thing that's 12 by 24 and it was around $8. Or you can get one of these to work on the glass cutting on the or the marble cutting. But anyway, let's get past this. Hi Darla, hi Chris, hi Donna. So let me get back to getting these to 1 inch. So what did I do with make sure that they are well. I want to have perfectly perfect thing here. Somebody keeps messaging me. It's nothing related to my... Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, somebody's messaging me. Something must not be right. The sound, the something. Alrighty, so I have these now. And let's put one of them on a different looking. Both of them different looking. Hi. Oh, I said hi, Chris. All right, so we are going to use these. And I'm going to use some olive clay. So Spanish olive for the stems. And I went on the 3 on a Makins, that would be a 2 on a regular pasta machine. Remember that Makins has an extra thick. That would be the number 1. But if you want to refer to a regular machine, you just have to go 1 less. If you don't have a Makins, if you have a regular machine. So with these, I'm gonna go on the thickest. Alrighty, now let's cut it. I will not need all this. That's definitely a no-no. So the grid mats are very... Very convenient. You don't have to mess up with a ruler, but the problem is if you do videos. If you do videos, there's a couple things to think about. One of them would be the glare, and that is very, very, very important. You do not want a glare. I know my very first videos were done on a pastry board that was kind of like the one that's in my Amazon influencer store. Okay, now let's do a few 1 inches here. So who got snow? I am very interested in who got snow. My snow is gone. I hear you. That can happen, Wendy. To me, it's usually I measure and I cut, and then I realize that I cut the other side that wasn't supposed to be cut that size. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of strips. Yeah, so I posted a little joke on my Facebook, and a lot of people took me seriously. I want to get some fresh air, and within a few seconds of being outside, my nose clogged shut. There was joking about what allergies can somebody have after a snow day. My problem is that, as weird as it sounds, I'm allergic to cold. And when I was younger, I did have Raynaud's syndrome. It was so bad that the skin of my forearms was turning white, and then you could easily see it was like a spider web of veins, and you can see that I have the veins in my hands are quite strong, but the veins were turning purplish, so I had like a white hands and forearms with a purplish spider web of veins. Alright, so the whole idea is to kind of have them at the same distance, so I'm going to mark it here and cut it here, but I am going to make it a little bit S-shaped. So for that, which is actually pretty much an inch, pretty much. So I'm going to place a few snakes here. And a few snakes here. And then I'm going to get it here. Yeah, I can get a thicker snake if you want, a thicker one than this. But I'm going to get here a so another snake here. And this would be made it too confuzzled here. Need a straight line. This would be here. So obviously I'm going to need some little snakes in those corners there. And in this corner here. There we go. And now let's make, sorry, let me fill this here. So this needs to be about this long. So this long and with a little diagonal here. Just a little bit of a diagonal, just a pinch. And there we go. Now let's work on the other side. So again, this actually needs to go here. Come on, stay there. Just a bit of a diagonal, not a lot, just a pinch. Now at this point I am going to reduce it. First I'm going to kind of make it into a properly reducible cane. And yes, I know I need more white. I cannot have oodles on the... I like to have, darling, I like to have just a little bit of snow just to feel that it's winter. I was born and raised in a real temperate zone that is with clear demarcation in the 4 seasons. So the first time I actually encountered the term ice storm was after I came to the US. So for me, winter is snow. And a lot of times it might even mean very, very dirty snow. Because you know how snow gets in big cities, fortunately. But if I don't have snow, for me that's not a real winter. Yeah, when it's snow, it's just unpleasantness. You don't feel any of the joy of winter. And I know that the biggest snowfalls I encountered when I was in Romania, for example, there was one when, but I was very young, so that was sometime, should have been like 1969 or 1970. Where I lived, we had a 6-foot tall fence, and it was almost to the top of it. The cars were covered, so that can give you an idea of how big the storm was. And I still remember with fondness those days, because what we did as kids, we had serious snow fights. I mean, I'm talking with forts and tunnels and surprise attacks and all that. So yeah, I had a very nice posse when I was a kid and a teenager. I lived in a gated community, and for some reason, where like half of us were single kids and half were had a sibling. Not two siblings, just one. And somehow, somehow it was because of the decree. The siblings were about all the same age with us. It was a difference of maximum 3 years. But when I was in my, 8, 9, 10 years old, for example, at one point we played cowboys and Indians, and we were all out there with little blankets, and the girls had their dolls and all that. And of course we were separated in two things, and there was a big disaster at one point because a wolf, that was one of the kids' dog, kidnapped a child that was one of the girls' dolls. So there was a huge war after that. It was nice. It was a very beautiful place. We had somebody who took care of all the plants and everything, and that person was a retired former groundskeeper at the Botanical Garden of Bucharest. So we had all kinds of beautiful stuff, including fruit trees, and I used to drive my mom nuts because I would climb in the trees. It was a very nice time, even if it was during communism. It was still nice. Kids don't realize a lot of the stuff that's going on politically. Yeah, and did you play Fortress and stuff indoors too? With the blankets over the backs of the chairs? Still remember some of the games we were playing. But now, if I think, maybe 10% of my childhood friends and neighbors are don't live in Romania anymore. Some of them are as far as New Zealand. And I was very, but no, I'm not gonna bring politics here. I'm not gonna say why I was very upset and disappointed. So, yeah, when I went back in Romania in 2014, things were so changed. And why I started talking about it, because I wanted to give you a visual. So this gated community had 8 buildings that were, except for one, were pretty much kind of like a combination of apartment buildings and villas. They were beautiful. And there was an alley in the middle that was all made with paving stones, that old style where they go like in arches. And then on each side was a row of linden trees. I don't know if you know what linden trees are. They are beautiful. The ones of you who live in the northeast and even in the northwest might be familiar with them. They bloom exquisitely. They are very nice smelling. Okay, this didn't need a diagonal. Very nice smelling blooms, and those blooms are actually excellent for congestion. Or make tea out of them. But anyway, in winter when it was snowing and I'd come home, it was like the silver forest from the Snow Queen fairy tale, because the trees were, delicately covered in snow. Like each branch was defined. Hi, Christina. I was trying to explain to people what linden tree is. I wanted to get one to plant here, but for some reason, and I have no idea why, they are forbidden in Oklahoma. So I couldn't plant a linden tree. I got some hazelnut bushes, but for some reason I've had them for like 9 years now. They never produced. I mean, they do the blooms, but they never did the hazelnuts. Oh goodness, and you stay late just for my broadcast? I'm so sorry. But I thought that, the majority of my subscribers are in the US or Canada, so if it's not the weekend, it's kind of difficult for them to see a broadcast that's at 12:30. Okay, I'm gonna put these here because it doesn't seem very maybe even one more here. Doesn't look very straight. I just didn't want to make again strings. Yeah, so I don't know why. Like, there are some things. On one, I know that I have a very bad. It's not green thumb anymore. It's black thumb. I was never able to grow lavender. Okay, but some things don't seem to thrive in Oklahoma. Like whenever I had my cottage garden in the backyard, I grew a lot of types of tomatoes because I used to get my seeds all from Baker's Creek. So I had all kinds of tomatoes. Well, the tomatoes with large tomato fruit barely produced 1 or 2 tomatoes for the whole season, while the cherries and grapes would go nuts. I mean, one year I had cherry tomatoes that vined up, and they would go up and then they would fall back on the ground, take root, and then try to go back up. Those vines were like 12 feet long. I had to keep putting new stakes there. So probably it's the same thing with the hazelnuts. I don't know. But they never ever I think I might end with this because I'm not sure if I can reduce a bigger to add the pot. As I said, I made them a little bit too big. Roller. I'm working on a cane video that's going to be a tangled cane. Very unusual. It's a repeatable pattern, but I'm sure you'll like it. I was wondering what to make with it, if to make a bangle or a necklace. Yeah, you know what? I was amazed here. A few things that didn't live long. One of them was an Arkansas firebush that you'd think, you know, Arkansas and Oklahoma have pretty much the same climate. But no, I guess the heat killed them. And the same happened for the bleeding hearts. Also, another very interesting thing, when I first came to Oklahoma, when I first came to the US back in '99, Oklahoma was, I mean, this part was a 6 in the planting zones. And now it's a 7B. So, talking climate change. And I saw on the news that they finally issued a statement that the Gulf Stream is slowing down, and when I watched it, all the scientific explanation, I was like, not just idiocracy was a prophecy, but the day after tomorrow was too. Okay, now I could do it faster. Hi, Kalyana, if my hands weren't hurting. But they do hurt, so. Yeah, see why I didn't put the pot now. There's a reason for it. It would have been way too. One thing that I know that if I don't bring it inside, it will not survive winter is rosemary. And also another thing that I never had issues with, because I only bought the hardy ones, are roses. I mean, my roses have green leaves on them right now. And if we keep having this upper 50s, lower 60s weather, they are going to start putting up new buds. We are supposed to have some snap Friday, starting Friday night till Saturday evening, Saturday night. And then we go back in the upper 50s, lower 60s during the day, and lower 40s at night. But yeah, I had a whole bunch of things, and some of them died just because I wasn't feeling well enough to go prepare them. And some of them died when we had, because remember back in, I think it was 2021, we had -17. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, I had a stilbe. I had a whole bunch of hostas, all kinds of colors and stuff, because my backyard is like 3/4 in the shade and a quarter in this. Oh goodness. I know that I had my honeysuckle blooming in December, so not this past December, before. Okay, it started moving a little bit better. Yeah, I bet. No, I have a friend in Alaska in the Kenai Peninsula, and she has some plants that can survive the winter there, but also specially developed, I guess. Yes, I'm going to have to cut them. Definitely will. All right, let's go ahead and cut and then try to. You know what I'm sure would survive there? Oh God, how are they called in English? Snowdrops. This is not all the way. Come on. There we go. I guess they didn't go all the way to the flower. Oh well. Yeah, I didn't put it all the way to the flower. Well, things happen. But let's make it a little flower pot. And also it's a child's drawing, so. Yeah, and you know what else? Violets. Violets are pretty hardy spring flowers. You can get a little bit more. And there we go. So what I have here is some burnt umber. Come on, get all of it out. I hope it's burnt umber, not bronze. Yeah, it's burnt umber. Okay, I just get hi Emmy. Oh, I love Lily of the Valley. That's another thing that died here because of the heat. Unfortunately, I got some. There used to be a company named Direct Gardening that was selling bare roots, all kinds of plants. And unfortunately, they had a lot of bad reviews because people had a lot of issues comprehending the meaning of bare roots. And they would all leave reviews like, I ordered plants and I got sticks. Well, duh. You know. That's what bare roots means. And in the end, and what was very nice about them was that they were employing a lot of disabled people. And they also had a very nice return policy. If you got something that died, they would replace it. All you had to do is to, you know, keep the the packing slip, because when they were sending stuff, it was always in a green plastic bag with the packing slip on it. But their prices were unbelievably low. I can tell you that I only had a problem twice. One was because it was dead, and the other one was because it was the wrong rose. So I didn't see until it bloomed, and they still replaced it. I never had other issues. Everything that I have from them was fabulous. But anyway, they were bought by another company, and of course now the prices are a little bit higher than most of the online nurseries. I know that I was getting like 25 strawberries. They were $5.99. So at one point I had like 3 different types of strawberries in my yard. The ones that bloom, that fruit the fastest, the first. And then another one that was later, and then I also had everbearing. But as I said, I never had, one time I had an issue with something dying. I mean, that was dead, not dying. Something that was dead. And they replaced it. And it came back. I didn't. I think I spent a total of maybe $250 in 3 consecutive years. And I had a ton of stuff in my yard, a ton. Some of them I still have them. Well, for me it was a matter of money, so even if I would have had more stuff dying, it was still cheaper than what I could. I mean, I got bare root roses for $3.99. It was a beautiful Don Juan. that I still have in the backyard. And then the Zephyrine ones, I think I got them for, it was like $7.99 for two, or $6.99 for two. Daisy, this is too much contamination. That's all from that stupid brown. Just a second. Their seeds were not the best though. That's why I was buying seeds from Baker's Creek, and also for the heirloom seeds they had. That's why I was buying seeds from Baker's Creek, not from Direct Gardening. But I have elderberries, those hazelnuts that never produced. I have purple smoke tree in the front, mock orange, spirea, lilac, crepe myrtle. I'm trying to remember. Variegated bush, I forgot how it's called. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 remaining roses. I had 2 that died without it being their fault. One of them was right near the fence with my neighbor, so when the new landlord purchased the place and demolished the garage, I guess they struck the roots of it or something, because that was a Zephyrine and it died. Another one died because of me, because I planted it in an area that I knew might not get enough sun for it. And another hardy one died because one hot summer I was in a lot of pain and I didn't water in time. So it was my mistake. But otherwise, I never had. I'm sorry you had such a bad experience with them, Ilyanka, but as I said, I did not have a bad experience with them. They were quite good. I actually looked online to buy some stuff, and that's when I discovered that there is no more Direct Gardening. So bummer. Yeah, no, this is not good. Finnegan. What? Can you hear him? He's squeaking. Finnegan, what? You wanna come up here to Mama? You want Mama to kiss you? Hmm? Hmm? Oh no. He ran. He came and squeaked and ran. I know. Alrighty, let me get back in the camera field. I need to kiss you. If you want to talk to me, I need to kiss you. So when you cut in the diagonal, you always make sure to watch how sharp the diagonal must be. Oh, he always sounds like that. He's a little whiner. And he has very high-pitched meows. But that was his I need attention meow. Yeah, sometimes he wants kisses, sometimes he doesn't. You never know with him. And I wholeheartedly confess that since he had his health issue and the surgery and all the stuff he had to go through during COVID, where I had to leave him all alone at the hospital, took him 2 years before he started being affectionate towards me again. And that hurt my feelings, but you know. Cannot explain to him that it was not my fault. I'm sure in his little mind is, you left me there and abandoned me, and those people hurt me, you know, which would be about what happened. Okay, why do I have here a little no idea. There we go. And with this you can make a whole bunch of earrings for little girls. You can put them on Christmas decorations. You can put them on salt and pepper shakers for the kids, and they will love them. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to reduce this, but I'm trying. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about the Atlantic currents. There's some things that I was hoping I wouldn't experience in my lifetime. You know? because I already lived through enough interesting times. Yeah, that's the idea. They are supposed to be happy. I might tomorrow just jump on and while I'm making some beads with the flowers, just for some company. But generally speaking, this one will probably show up in my next stash. Which I want to do, if possible, on my birthday. By the way, my birthday is March 12th. So we'll have a special then. I don't even know what, let me see what day of the week it is. It is a Tuesday. So yeah. I'm going to celebrate it with you ladies. I'm getting a lot of wastage here. More than I'm used to. Because it's such a big cane, I cannot control it very well in the middle. Nevertheless, I'm going to cut it and call it a day and reduce it later. It should be about 1.5 by 1. There we go. Child's play. So happy little flowers, and you can use them, as I said, you can use them for beads. Just to show you a beads. One bead. Let's make one bead. It's very easy to make. So first you make a little ball. This should be the norm for any bead you're making. Okay. So we do a little ball, and the little ball has to be about 2/3 in diameter, about 2/3 of the size of the cane. This one is a tad too small, so I'm going to add a little bit more clay. And let's cut 2 slices. Can't even cut properly. My hands are starting to hurt quite a bit. And then we place them on the exact opposite sides of the bead and very gently put them in. And you want them to be, you can make them the beads smaller if you don't want to work too much, but I prefer to have to pull a little bit on the slices because it makes more even. And it's going to be a little bit pancakey. By the way, today is National Pancake Day. It's going to be a little pancakey to start with, but then you come and very gently you flatten the pancakey part. I should be. I'm trying to push towards April. The shots in my thumbs. And anyway, you keep oops you keep doing this until there's no more folding marks. But you have pretty funny little beads, flower beads. Okay, so let me see. Next Sunday is the 18th. So on the 25, because it comes and remember I told you about it so many times, the little March event in Romania and Eastern Europe. On the 25, we are going to have to make some little marches. I keep trying to introduce the tradition to the US for years now, and it's a very ancient tradition. It initially started with giving coins with a white and black thread twisted together, and then there were other symbols of good luck and health and happiness, and the color of the thread switched to white and red. And then of course there were all kinds of everything. I used to be a mărțișor maker, quite known, and I used to have my own selling spot because there's a lot of. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can find it on Wikipedia, and then when it's worn for 8 days, and when the 8 days are gone, you take it and you keep the little talisman, and the thread you tie it around the fruit tree branch to bring many fruits on the tree. So all kinds of things there, as you can see. The most known are the horse shoe, the chimney sweep, and the 4-leaf clover. And to show you how I think it should still look like it, because I don't see them closing that space. Oops, not this. I don't know, I'm getting such little because there are whole fairs with people selling them, and it's a very I'm trying to show you the whole. They moved it. Your photos, guys. Not this. It's actually on the cultural heritage of UNESCO. And it used to be in the University Square. That's where the big Bucharest University is. Oh no, they did 2019. Oh, they did stop people from being able to sell. But there are lots of fairs with this. Anyway, so we'll do on the 25. We'll make. Thank you, Christina. We'll make some talismans, okay? And I think I still have some thread to show you how to make the little threads that accompany them. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my little crude child drawing cane. And you'll try to make some. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.